All right, Giants fans, let's just get right into it. The Giants stink. They downright suck, and nothing else really needs to be said. Defensively, we're fine. We held one of the top NFL offenses to 17 points. Held the Cowboys to 20. I mean, pick any team you want other than the Vikings. We've held them to amount they lesser than what they normally get. So our defense is fine. Sure, as things like a nitpick. The Burrow TD run was kind of out of nowhere. But you know, it happens. No one expected Joe Burrow to run that fast. I don't think anyone expected that. He's been injured a lot, so it happens. You know, I don't really feel like getting on the defense anymore. They played great. We got sacks. We're number one sacking team in the league. Brian Burns, his last couple games, last few games really, he's really showed why we paid him what we paid him. And Ojulari stepped in for Kayvon, did a great job. Defense as a whole, Deontay Banks, everybody's contributing. The rookies, Newman and Phillips, doing great. Dexter Lawrence is Dexter Lawrence. We just, you know, there's really no... Defense is great. Better than we expected. And I'm thankful for him. But this offense... The reason why I didn't do a video immediately after the game like I wanted to is because what's the point? I wasn't in the right state of mind. I was angry. We all know what we were angry at. I didn't want to come on here and be out of my character and say things I may regret or, you know, make prognostications that I have no basis of. But as a fan, there's only so much you can take. Let's just get to it. Daniel Jones. I made sure every week to mention the guy when he does good, but I also made mention to say that we still need an upgrade at the quarterback position. Some may say I was hating, but I want to stay consistent because ever since I've known Daniel Jones, my opinion's always been like this. Up sometimes, down sometimes, up sometimes, down sometimes. 2022, he's finally here. We have the guy. 2023, he sucks. Chuck him out of the airlock. 2024, throughout the fan base, those opinions have came back game to game to game to game to game. Okay. If we had a true starting quarterback at the court, you know, starting for our team, I feel like we'd have a more solid opinion. But we don't. Daniel Jones is a backup quarterback in this league, and it's okay. It's okay. You have to be very good to be in the NFL. So a lot of times when people would say Jones sucks, his defenders would say, well, how does he suck? He's a starter in the NFL. He's thrown touchdowns. He's won a playoff game. He's done this. He's done that. There are backup quarterbacks that can win playoff games. We've known that to be the case in NFL history. Just look it up. Backup quarterbacks have won playoff games before. Now the realm of possibility. But the difference between them and starters is clear. Starters, no matter how bad they play, they never get into a long rut where they just, you know, they usually bounce back next game or they bounce back in a couple games. And they'll have those games where they show you why they are who they are. And it's not just the fact that they win. They have plays, wow plays that show you, wow, he is a starter. Starting quarterbacks are able to make plays even when the play breaks down. How often have you seen Jones make a play after the play is broken down? Maybe he has. I can't think of any in recent memory. He plays the offense like a backup quarterback. Like, I'm just here to make sure I don't throw a pick, or I'm just here to make sure I don't turn the ball over, just to keep the offense afloat and let the playmakers do everything while I do what little I can do. That's a backup quarterback, and does that not describe Daniel Jones' play? It's okay. 22 for 41, 205 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. And not just a regular interception, one of the dumbest interceptions I've seen. And I think we've seen enough of these to know it's an issue. And year six quarterbacks should not be making these kind of picks. Like, if you're going to do this kind of stuff, you need to be Brett Favre. You need to be throwing 3 touchdowns right after. You need to be one of the top quarterbacks in the league to make the kind of mistakes Daniel Jones does with the ball. You can't be 22 or 41 for 200 freaking yards throwing a pick like that. Just take the sack. Take the sack. The guy got there. It's okay. Take the sack. We could have gotten 3 points there and been down 7-3, and that would have been so much better than going down 7-0. Momentum, folks, is a thing. I know you can say it doesn't exist, but it does. No matter what you want to say, it's a thing. And not getting points there after looking so good the whole time deflates a team. So credit to our defense again for being able to play solid the entire game, minus a few plays, even seeing what our offense was going through. Jones is done, guys, and my opinion, in my estimation, if we lose against the Eagles, and I don't care how close it is, or how much of a blowout it is, if we lose against this Eagles team that isn't as good as they were years past, this Eagles team stinks. They stink. The fan base is basically ready to fire their coach already, even during the bye week. You know how Eagles fans are. Like, this team stinks, and the fans know it. I feel like they're a better team than us, but they stink, all right? They stink. We can beat this team. So I feel like if you don't beat this team, that will mean that Daniel Jones has lost to the Commanders, to the Cowboys, and the Eagles. Granted, it was week 2, but you see how good the Commanders are, and our defense held them to 7 field goals. So our defense has proven that they're good enough to play with even some of the top offenses in this league. I think we can safely say that. If we lose against the Eagles and you have another game like this, we are going to bench Daniel Jones. I would put money on it. We are going to bench Daniel Jones. If we lose to all 3 NFC East opponents, we are going to bench Daniel Jones. I feel like that is the master plan for Brian Daboll and this team. If they don't bench Daniel Jones after losing to the Eagles, let's just cross that bridge when we get to it. Look, there's really nothing else to say. I don't know if I mentioned this, but just in case, we also got a new, very bad news today. I mean, speaking of bad offense, the offense is about to get worse. Andrew Thomas, our all-pro left tackle, has a Lisfranc injury. And currently, they're trying to figure out what they're going to do next about it. If they're just going to try and heal up and see if he can come back in the middle of the season, or if he's going to get surgery and be out for the rest of the season. I'm not really sure how Lisfranc's work, but I mean, it's the foot, and he's a heavy left tackle, so any sort of ankle and foot injury, which is usually what he has, isn't good. So there's a chance he'll be out for the rest of the season. And our only two viable backups I can think of off the top of my mind. One of them is Joshua Uzudu, who is not a starting NFL left tackle, so let's not even do that. And then we also have Evan Neal. And we know how bad Evan Neal has been as a right tackle in this league, but he originally played left tackle in college, I believe. So if we start him at left tackle, I say let's just do that and see what happens. Because what other option do we have? If he's a good left tackle, great. And no matter who we have on the center, he's going to be protected, and we can maybe get this offense going. But, yeah. It's just not a good day to be a Giants fan. We know what happened the last time Andrew Thomas was down in 2023. He went down, and so did our season. We never really recovered. But I think more so than that, it was really just because our quarterback isn't good. I'm resigned to the fact that he just isn't a starting quarterback in this league. But it's like I said, it certainly doesn't help if we have a bad line. So this line's been good this year, and it's been the one thing us Giants fans can hold our hat on. And just to see one of our best, if not the best lineman on our line go down, it's just tough. But we press on. It's not an excuse. You know, I know we didn't have neighbors in the Bengals game, but we also didn't have neighbors in the Seahawks game. So no, I'm not using injuries anymore as an excuse. We did that for Jones all last season. Let's see what he does when we have a competent O-line and receivers. I'm done. And us Giants fans knew that this season was going to be the season. If Jones didn't show improvement this season, he was going to be benched at some point. And I don't care who's out. You're the starting quarterback. You've been in the league for years. You should know how to at least make it work. Because other starting quarterbacks do. I just think he doesn't have it. We can get on Dable all we want to, and maybe it is Dable's fault. But no, listen. This will be the third coaching staff that Jones has been through. And there's no way that all three coaches are bad. I just refuse to believe that we hired 3 bad coaches in a row. At some point, we have to look at the signal caller. And it's certainly time for Jones. Time's up. So, not really much else to say. So yeah, Andrew Thomas out, and I'll say it one last time just to make sure my point's clear. I feel that if we lose against the Eagles, Jones will be benched, and we will move forward and get ready to draft a quarterback in 2025. Or even sign a quarterback, who knows? We'll see what we do. But yeah, not a good time to be a Giants fan, but I still bleed blue. Still love this team, and I'll still be here with my weekly reactions to what happens. But yeah, guys, I don't know. I just say a prayer, and we'll see what happens. We're on to Philadelphia.